right, well, let's get started. We'll dream of Mexico. If you find a stick, you're going to need that for your warm up today. Okay, so let me just check the volume. Okay, so if you can find a stick and bring your hands just to the end of it, we're going to start with some mobilization for our shoulders. You can do it with a band or a stick. Try and keep your fingers on there. It will help to stretch through your wrists and around your forearms. So deep breath in on the way back, breathing out as you come forwards. So inhale on the way back, exhale on the way forwards. And then we're going to go around the world to Mexico, down, back the other way. Oh, I must ask you how Jean's getting on, Anne. I'll have a chat at the end. Oh, I think you're probably on Spanish lessons, though.
That's right.
Yeah, don't worry.
She's doing great. She's doing great. It's lovely weather out there.
Good.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice. All right, one more each way. So get our joints oiled around our shoulders. Okay, and then if you can pop your stick down, we're going to take the feet open wide with some turnout for our toes. If you can bend your knee and push your bottom back, so you can use your stick just to lean on a little bit, and then do the same the other way. And try and get quite a big space between your feet, so your knee is kind of sitting just above your ankle as you drop down. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and then lift. So down for 3, 2, 1, and then lift. It feels appropriate. See if you can go a little bit lower. Just really dig into those leg muscles, inner thigh. Coming all the way down now. Alrighty, and then bringing your feet in, we're going to use the stick to steady ourselves to one side. And we're going to bring the foot up, and I want you to point your toes quite firmly, flex, point, and then circle round. So point, flex, point, and then circle. And again, point, flex, point. So you're warming up into your foot. And one more, point, flex, point, and let's switch that to the other side. So warming up through our toes, ankles, hip, and leg. Do it again, point, flex, point. And can you keep your posture steady as you do the circle with the leg? But get some height on the leg so you can feel your buttock muscle starting to work. And one more time, point, flex, point, and circle. Okay, popping your stick down, do a little warm up for our back joints. So if you can slide your hands to your thighs, so you're sat in a squat, and then tuck your bottom under, bringing your chin to your chest, holding this for a few seconds, and then uncurling. And we'll go into a tiptoe balance, bringing the hands together over the top of the head, reaching up, eye gaze up towards your hands to test your balance, and then coming back down into a squat. So we sit, tuck the bottom under until you feel some stretch in your back, and hold, breathe, and then uncurling. And tiptoe balance, hands together. Can you get some height on your heels? So you're right up, feeling your calves, eye gaze up, and then sinking down again. So into a squat, tuck your tailbone and hold the back stretch. Breathe. And uncurl. And tiptoe rise, right up. Eye gaze looking up. Can we do a little bit of a lean back? Your arch back. And we'll do that one more time. So sink into your squat. tuck, feel the stretch in your back, hold, breathe, and uncurl, and tiptoe rise, right up with your heels, leaning back, testing your balance. And we're going to stay on our tiptoes, and I want you to rotate, move to the middle, and come back down. And again, turn, you rotate, look behind, test your balance, move to the middle, and we're going to squat down in between. Tiptoe rise, turn and look behind, move to the middle, squat down, 2, 3, and rise, staying up on your tiptoes as you turn, move to the middle. And we're going to do that just a few more times, seeing if you can twist around a little bit further, look towards your backhand to test your balance, and sinking into the squat. One more each way, all the way around now. How far can you see behind you? Wobbling optional. And last one. Alrighty, from here, we're going to move into a balanced posture. Some yoga, we're going to slide the leg back without leaning the body. So try to stay upright. And if you hover through your back leg, so your buttock muscle kicks in, and then use that leg to lever your body forwards, lengthening the arms. You get some height in that leg, reach into your fingers, hold, breathe, and then control the leg as it comes down. Let's do that again. So being nice and upright, pointing the toes, lifting the leg. Get some height on the leg, lengthen the arms, reaching into your fingers, breathe. And coming down with control. Think about your posture. So elongate up through the crown of your head. Point your toes. Lift. Lever the body forwards. Try and get some squeeze between your shoulder blades. Some height on your arms. I'm just going to do that one more time on the other side. So good test of our balance. Welcome the wobble. Use your eye gaze, look at something still to help steady your balance. And then coming down and just giving our shoulders a roll up to the ears, squeeze and down, up to your ears, squeeze and down, rolling your arms. Making a big circle with your arms now. Inhale, exhale. See if you can brush the ears with the arms. You spread out your fingers and then reverse back the other way. So last couple, and then we're going to come down onto all fours. I'd like you to find a stick. So last one. So we're going to move down to all fours, parking the stick along the back. So if you can join me down here. So the aim on our leg pull is to keep our core nice and stable. So focusing on our core stability, we'll use the stick to give us a bit of feedback. If you can lift your leg without your back going into too much overarch, try and get a bit of height on the leg and reach into your toes. Can you keep the stick steady as you switch over and do the same on the other side? So that's our level 1 option. Level 2, we'll add a reach forward with the opposite arm. And then do the same on the other side, keeping the stick steady. We're going to hold it there for 3, 2, 1, and then come down. Now, if that's doable, more advanced, we hold the limbs in the air and then fold, bringing the heel towards the bottom without dropping the thigh. So try and keep some height in the leg. Breathing in as we reach. Breathing out as we fold back in. Keeping the belly button muscle drawn in to keep the core active. And sometimes the stick can give us a little bit of stick. Can you do one more on each side? So final one. And then from here, if you can meet me in the downward dog. So if you can hook your toes underneath, lift up through your tailbone, press down through your heels. And we're going to switch our body weight from one foot to the other. So we flex through the toes, press the heel down, and then switch to the other one. So flexing under the toes. Breathe. Pushing the ground away with the hands. Pressing through the heel of the hand, spreading the fingers, straightening one leg as the other one bends, but still keeping some pressure through the toes as they bend. One more each side. So final one. And then from here, if you can take a walk with your feet and towards your hands, and we're going to pop down onto our backs. Alrighty, so if you can join me down here for some mat work now. I'd like you to slot your fingertips into the curve here of your lower back. You pull your belly button muscle in, so you've got a little bit of pressure on your hands. We're going to bring our knee up to 90 degrees and circle like this around. Level 2, we'll do it with both legs in the air. So bent leg held on one side, circling like this on the other. And can you keep good pressure on your hands as you circle? How is it as you reverse the circle back the other way? Level 3, we do the other leg like this with a straight leg. Can you point your toes as you do it? And then we'll bend the feet back down to the floor. And let's try that on the other side. So level 1, just single bent leg. Level 2, we've got both in the air as we circle. Or third level, we'll do it with both legs straight like this. Keeping that good pressure on your hands as you circle. Breathe. And then reversing back in the opposite direction. So conditioning the core. Pointing the toes quite firmly with your toes. That's it. Reach into your big toe. Last one. And then when you're done, if you can bend your knees up to your chest. And we're going to circle the knees out, round, and back in. So out, round, and back in, oiling the joints. Hello, Kat. Nice to see you. And then reversing the knees back in the opposite direction. And last couple. Okay, good job. So from here, we're going to move into a side lying position. I want you to find your stick and pop it just behind your head, your shoulders, and your tailbone. So we'll move to some Pilates side kicks. We'll have the feet in front of the upper body with some lift here in the waistline. So try and get a little bit of height on your waist and keep those muscles contracted as you hover your top leg and point your toes. Squeeze your bottom leg from underneath. Can you get your heels to touch as you keep that bottom thigh off the floor and then flex and come back down? So we point the toes, hover the top leg, And you squeeze your inner thighs and get your heels to touch, and just check your top hip hasn't wandered off somewhere. Let's bring the legs down. So keep tuned into the lift in the waistline as we hover the legs and then come back down. On more advanced level, we're going to bring ourselves up into a side plank and hover the leg from there. So choose your level. That's it. So squeeze in the fist if you're doing the side plank. Still with a pointy toe on the way up, lifting the hip off the floor and then flexing the foot as you come down. So lifting the hip up off the ground. And just do that one more time. Okay, good job. So let's give that a go over on the other side. So good conditioning for the side of our core. Again, we'll start with our head, shoulders, and our tailbone against the stick. Picking the waistline up away from the ground. And we're pointing through the toes, reaching them, and then squeezing and see if we can get the heels to touch as we hold in the air. A few seconds, flexing the feet, and then back down. So pointing the toes, squeezing the bottom leg up, flexing, and then coming back down. Breathing in as we lift, and out as we lower. So for tougher option, we move up onto the bottom elbow, a little bit of bend in the knees, hover the hip, straight leg, lifting, and then flexing as we come down. So point on the lift, hold, flex, come back down. Now is your stick still attached to your head, your shoulders, and your tailbone? How's the posture in your lower back? Can you keep elongated in your lower back against your knuckles? I'm just going to do that twice more. And final one. Alrighty, resting off. Let's move to a seated position. And if you want to, you could maybe grab a strap if it's tricky to get up and down. We're going to do some curls like this. So I want you to work at rolling segmentally through your spine. Hello, cat. So we're going to tuck the tailbone under, touch the head down on the floor, and then come back up. And do it again. Tuck the tailbone, and come back up. More advanced, we bring the arms over the top of the head. Breathe in on the way down. Breathe out on the lift. And let's do it again. Inhale on the way down. And exhale on the lift. Now, sometimes this move can be quite jerky. Notice the point if it's a bit jerky for you. Can you sort of slow it down so that you're working with a bit more control? And we do two more. And final one. So from here, we'll take a stretch for our back. If you can bring your right knee so it tucks in tight to your chest, and we'll lengthen the other leg down long. We're going to bring our leg across the body, place the foot on the floor and press the knee down. And we're going to trail the other arm behind. Can you get that back arm just slightly above your shoulder line? Now we're going to work with the breath. So I want you to take a deep breath in And as you breathe out, press the knee more firmly down and the shoulder at the same time. And do that again. Breathe in. So press your knee and your opposite shoulder down as you exhale. Giving your sacroiliacs a good old stretch. Let's do that one more time. So notice where you feel the stretch. Breathe. Alrighty, so let's release, and we're going to switch that over to the other side. So left knee up, bring the leg across, trail the arm behind, leaving the hand just a little bit higher than your shoulder. That's it. So get a little bit of height on that arm. Eye gaze towards that back hand and press your shoulder and your knee down simultaneously. Inhaling into your belly. And on the exhale, pressing down. And let's do that again. Alrighty, so from here, we're going to roll to the center and just pop the hands here underneath the leg, and then you can use it to rock yourself up to seated. We're going to come up to standing. Now, can you find some weights? Now's a good time if you need to have a drink. So just grab a drink. Okay, so let's get some weights. So find a weight that gives you a little bit of challenge. So if you hold your weights in your hands, and I want you to sit down into a squat, bringing the weight towards your shoulder. And as you do that, I want you to think about your posture in your legs. So can you sit back a little bit into your heels, slight turn out in your toes, angling your knees towards your smaller toes. So level 1 will bring the weight to here. Level 2 will elongate the arms forward. But I want you to concentrate on pressing your shoulder blades down. 2, 3, and then release. Let's do that again. Pull your belly button muscle in, press your shoulders down, and then release. More advanced, we're going to add more height with the weight. So we're bringing the arms up back by the ear, so more overhead, but without making more overcurve in the lower back. So pull your belly button muscle in so that your core is active as you add more height to it. Just going to do that 3 more times, holding for 3, 2, 1. So last couple, working on our stamina in our arms and our legs. And final one. Alrighty, resting off. You give your legs a little shake out. Find a stick for me. And we'll use the stick to monitor our posture as we go into a quad stretch. So if you can pop the stick behind like this, and then if you can see yourself from a side view in your screen, you can use your mirror image to check your positioning. So if we get hold of this leg, bring your knees together and touch your heel towards your bottom. And try and get your heel onto your bum, elongating up with a stick behind. Now, if there's still a gap between your heel and your bottom, definitely work on these more frequently. Really important, particularly as we get older, to keep these muscles really nice and lengthened. Otherwise, it keeps us in a forward lean posture throughout our day, which can lead us into falls. So we want to try and avoid that. Let's give that a go on the other side. So knees together, heel towards the bottom again. And I find adding a bit of bottom squeeze. So if you squeeze the buns and push your hips forwards, that helps to initiate a bit more stretch there. So deep breath as you hold. And just holding for 5 more seconds. Breathe. Alrighty, so let's give our legs a shake out. And we're going to move into a wide leg stretch. So triangle pose from yoga, turning out over here, and then angling in over here at 45 degrees. With your hips, try to drop like this so that this hip tips down. That's it, as we slide the hand along the shin. Now it's common for the body to try and lean forward. See if you can sort of lean back a bit so your shoulders are stacked one on top of the other. And then we'll elongate up with that top arm. Can you turn your eye gaze up to test your balance and breathe into your belly. And sliding a little further down, bringing the top arm over. And then from here, we're going to bend into the knee and we're going to slide the lower hand just behind the leg. Wriggle the back foot away. That's it, bending this thigh so it's parallel to the floor. And then bringing this top arm down. So we've now got our opposite hand to our foot on the floor. And we're going to keep turning the upper body and bring the other arm up like this, reaching up with the fingers, being on tiptoes on our back foot, and letting our hip bones sink down a little bit. Breathe. And then bringing both hands so they're on the inner side of the leg. We're going to take a walk like this around to the middle of our feet. And we're going to take our feet a bit wider, as wide as we feel safe, maybe slightly uncomfortable, and just nudge your body weight back into your heels. Breathe deeply. Alrighty, and then from here, if you bring your feet in a bit, we're going to come to standing. We'll have a good old stretch on the other side. So turning out, the toes over here, angling in, over here. We're going to switch the hips across as we slide our hand down and go long up with our top arm. Breathing deeply, turning the eye gaze up to the top hand. And bringing our top arm over. You can get this arm at the top, back by the ear. Reaching into your fingers quite strongly. And then bending through the knee on this side, wriggling the other foot away. And see if you can get that thigh parallel to the ground. Bringing the hand to the floor. And then switching the hands over, and we turn towards the front leg. Eye gaze looking up, on our tiptoes on our back foot, straightening out the back leg, but giving in to gravity with our hips. Breathing into the stretch. And coming down again with our top hand, walking again into the middle. So we're in a wide leg stretch. Feet open, let your head drop down, look down underneath through the legs. And then come and have a sit down for me. So we're going to keep with a wide leg position. And we're going to point our toes, palms facing upwards. And then from here, we're going to lean over to the side, flexing the foot. Can you get hold of the foot or the shin or the ankle? Bringing this arm over, 2, 3, and then coming back up. Pointing the toes again, lengthening the back, and we'll do the same over on the other side. So what can you get hold of? You keep your arm back by your ear, and then come back up. Breathe in, and breathe out as you lean. Breathe in as you come up, and breathe out as you lean. And do it again. Now, if you want to, you can go a step on by bringing this arm underneath, but more advanced. And can you push on a little further on your next 4? If you can introduce your ear to your knee. heading down. Point your toes, lengthen your back. And then really flex quite firmly, lowering the head all the way down. And one more on each side. All the way down. And final one. Alrighty, if you can give your legs a bit of a shake out, losing a shoe. Next up, we're going to come over to all fours, have another drink. Keep topped up. So some work for our arms and our upper body next. So from here, I'm going to move into doing some presses. If you want to, Anne, if it's tricky on your knees, you can do them against the wall. So hands just slightly wider than the shoulders and core switched on as we let the chest lead us towards the wall or the floor. Breathing out as we come down, in as we lift. Think about your shoulder posture. So press the blades down your back. You can do it if you like with your knees further back for tougher option, but make sure it's your chest leading the way rather than your hip. And then over time, once you've got that, doing it more onto the toes. Breathing out as we come down, inhaling as we lift. So if we could do that just a couple more times through. So finishing off our final one and then opening the knees and sitting into the child pose, reaching the fingers forwards. And then coming up into our downward dog. So lifting the tailbone in the air, pressing down through the heels. And we're going to take a walk with our feet towards our hands. And then coming down onto our back. And we'll move into doing some shoulder bridge raises. So we're going to curl the tailbone under, push upwards through the hips, hold and squeeze the knees at the top for level 1, and then imprint down for level 2. If you like, you can do it with a cushion between your knees, and you could either put another cushion or a foam roller under your feet like this for next level. So we're going to hold at the top for 3, 2, 1, and then imprint middle back and lower back to come down. Squeezing the cushion between the knees on the lift. 2, 3, hold, and then imprint middle back and lower back to come down. Try to get some pelvic floor squeezes in on this one. So ideally we should be doing some maintenance ones each day. So good squeeze through the pelvic floor on the lift. Hold the squeeze and then imprint down and relax the squeeze. On this next one, we're going to hold and stay there and lift the arms up over the top of the head, thumbs towards the ground, and then a big circle with your arms, rolling bit by bit back down. So tucking under, hovering the arms, thumbs towards the floor, and then a big circle. And if you want to do a more advanced version of that, we bring some weights in to the arms as well. So we roll, bring the weights up over the top of the head, and then a nice big circle, imprinting the body down. So just going to do that twice more through. And final one. Alrighty, so resting off. From here, we're going to roll over and we're going to bring one leg forwards like this and tuck the other one in with some turn out. So on this side, I want you to use this hand just to press the knee down, and in your posture in your upper body, try and avoid sort of rounding the back. Let your chest lead you forward as you reach for your toes here. So either pulling the toes up or getting hold of the ankle, and think of your chest coming down towards your thigh. Breathing deeply. Alrighty, let's release and we'll give that a go on the other side. So we're going to flex the toes, bend the knee, push down and lean into it. Again, think of your chest coming down towards your thigh. Breathing deeply. Let's move down onto our backs for some more core. So hands around the back of the head here, bringing our opposite knee and our elbow towards each other. Breathing out as we come up, in as we come down. Alternating level 2, as one comes up, the other comes down. Straight leg extending out for third level. Inhaling for 2, exhaling for 2. Use your feet, point your toes more. Reach into your toes. That's it. Breathe. And last couple. Alrighty, so from here, if you just bend your knees up to your chest, and then we're going to do a full body stretch, extending the toes, interlinking fingers here above the head. And then if you can turn your palms to face out, little fingers side down, and let your back arch. Breathing deeply into your belly. Just enjoying a bit of breathing space. Do that again. Pointy toes. Inhale and fill your belly with air. Exhaling out. And one more deep breath. Filling up. And emptying. Alrighty, from here we're going to move over to our front. And we're going to make a fist with our hands. And I want you to lift from your hip as you move into a half plank. So you can either stay in half plank and float a leg up. Now, when you transition the floaty leg, try to keep your hips level and steady. Imagine you've got a little plate of marbles resting on your back. The aim is not to lose the marbles. Tougher option, we do it like this from toes, so the knees are off the ground. Keep your bottom tucked in so it's not up on the ceiling somewhere. Holding. Now each hover for 3, 2, 1. On the other side, press your shoulders down, 2, 1. And again, breathe. Can we do one more on each side? Last one. And then having a sit back with the knees open, but this time as we go into child pose, we're going to bring our hands down by our ankles and just let the shoulders round and sort of flop. Breathe. Alrighty, so from here, if we can find our downward dog again. So lifting the tailbone, we're going to keep one foot down in the middle. We're going to point the toes and see if we can get some height on this leg. Try to lift it up. So go right up to the ceiling with your toes. That's it, get some height, push up. And then slowly lowering that leg with control. And let's give that a go on the other side. Point the toes, get some height on it. Reach your toes. Control the leg as it comes back down. And then walking the feet towards the hands. Coming down onto our back. Sliding the fingertips here again into the curve. And we'll come back to our mat work. Sliding the feet close in, feet together. So the feet are touched, and we'll do pointy toes as we lift both of the legs. I want you to do this one quite slowly. So as you lower, can you keep good pressure on your hands? And coming back up. If it's easy at this level, take your feet a bit further away. So still a bent leg, but just feet a bit further away. And explore your core on this one. How far away can you get your feet without losing that core control? Maybe slow down a bit where we get a bit shaky. That's where the magic happens. Breathe. Can we do that twice more? Just really slowing it down where the going gets tough. Pressing back and down through the shoulders. And final one. Breathe. And then from here, we're going to bend our legs. Take one leg up. Use the hands to gently pull that leg towards us, really straightening the leg. Point your toes quite firmly. Can we keep that leg there as we drop the bottom leg down? Maybe even pull that leg a bit closer to us. More advanced, we bring that leg closer still. Nose towards the knee, the tougher option. And then slowly bend the legs. And let's give that a go on the other side. So straightening the leg. Can you point your toes? Straighten the bottom leg down. Next level. Reaching through both sets of toes. Easing the leg in. And then bringing our nose and our knee towards each other. And releasing back down. We're going to roll to our side and find a stick to give our neck, tops of our shoulders a stretch neck. So if you come up to standing, and if you take your stick like this, so you've got it behind your back, you can walk your hands like this towards each other and grip and pull, aim your top elbow up and back like this, and then turn your head to look behind your shoulder. Breathe deeply. Eye gaze looking down, and then release. And let's do that again. For me, I try and keep my body weight back into my heels as I turn. Look down. Pull on the stick. Breathe. Turning the head round enough that we feel that stretch in the neck. And let's give that a go on the other side. So walking the hands as close together as we can. Gripping, pulling the stick, and then turn, look down behind the shoulder and breathe. Some nice stretch or tightness around the base of the neck, top of the shoulder. And just do that one more time. Hands walking together, turn, breathe. Alrighty, let's release. And then from here, we're going to take the stick behind. Try and get your thumbs to touch. So hands together. And then if you roll your shoulders back, lift your arms behind you, straightening the arms, arching back slightly. Chest, breastbone lifted up towards the ceiling. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Breathe. Relax off. Okay, good job. So let's come down onto our backs for some rest and recoup time. I think the cats are going to join us. All righty, so if we park our hands just here on top of our belly, close your eyes and allow your body to kind of sigh. I guess the cats would probably purr. And we're just going to tap into a relaxed energy. Opening your teeth, relaxing into the jaw. Noticing the little muscles around the eyes, allowing those to soften. Allowing the back of the head to sink into the mat. Relaxing around the shoulders and the arms. And we can just run our attention from the shoulders down the spine, into the curve of the back, into the sacrum. Allow all the little muscles around the spine to soften and let go. Running your attention around your hips and your pelvis. Feeling the heaviness of the lower back against the ground. Relaxing into the thighs, around the knees, down into the lower limbs and the feet. Allow yourself to relax twice as deeply as your attention drifts. Allow yourself to drift to one of your favorite places to walk out in nature at this time of year. Lots of colors of the leaves. Noticing the colors around you. Just noticing what is it about that space in nature that you like to walk makes it a favorite place for you. What's the energy of that space like? What's the feel of it like? And bringing your attention back into your toes, I'd like you to just give your toes a little wriggle around, wakening up the toes, and then opening your eyes. And as you lie on your back, just being mindful of the space and the colors around you. And then when you're ready, if you can open your eyes, we're going to move up to a seated position. And we'll take a little stretch for our neck before we check in. So if you can, just let your head drop over to one side and then pop your hand just here by your ear and a gentle pull And we're going to reach the other arm just out to the side. And let's switch it over the other way. So gentle pull, breathe. And then if you pop your hands just here around the back of your head, chin to chest. Apply a little bit of pressure. Breathe. Okay, so I hope you've had a good session today. If you could hit your unmute. So how are we feeling?